Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our technical webinar. My name is Anatoly Vilchinsky, and today I'm glad to present you our new product of StarWind Software company, StarWind Native SAN for Hyper-V. Let's take a fast look at today's agenda. First of all, to those attendees who are brand new to SAN technology, I will briefly explain the main cornerstones of it. I will explain the main difference between DAS and SAN-based production environments, and after I will show you the benefits of using highly available storage with cluster Hyper-V application. Then I will present you our new product itself and tell you about the benefits that it can bring to your production system. After this, I will show you StarWind Native SAN in action in my test environment, and after we will have the question and answer session where I will gladly answer all the questions that you may have. DAS and SAN, what is the difference? What you can see on the diagram is some production environment. It can be Vmware based, Hyper-V, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, anything. But as you can see I have chose Hyper-V for this example. You have got virtualization host with your production VMs and local hard disk drive as the storage for it. Everything is okay for now. But what will happen if those hard drives will become unavailable? Nothing good actually, no data, no production. So what we need to do now is to install SAN in this infrastructure to avoid such situation. But what will be if whole application server will be broken? Well, bad situation again here. It is solving pretty easily actually. Just add second application server and cluster it. So the only thing is left is to bring this production system to enterprise level. Actually, it can be done by simply adding second server and creating the storage cluster. That is when actually enterprise feature of StarWind called Affordability comes into play. So now you have a highly available storage and hypervisor. Other words, your production will be up and running even if you will drop 50% of your system. For described configuration, for most of vendors, you need at least 4 servers. What StarWind is suggesting is to use 2 instead. So you shouldn't buy any additional servers to have enterprise configuration. Just use existing machines. Let me please explain it more detailed. Any server contains professional hardware that actually costs a lot. And so if you have 4 servers for widely used configuration described above, then you should spend money for components for every of those machines. But if you will have this ability to run your application on 2 machines instead of 4, that basically means that you will cut down your expenses significantly. Okay, so let's review all pluses of such situation. First of all this is the main cornerstone of every system, performance. In case if you are using native SAN for data from hypervisor, data from hypervisor, shouldn't be transmitted through the network to be written on the primary storage, because the storage is local. That means that your network bandwidth will not be the bottleneck no more. But what is happening with the data after it is written to the local storage, that is shared storage by the way too? Those things that are happening actually bringing us to the next positive point. Fault tolerance. After the data is located on the local hard drive, it is transmitting to the second server. Basically, that means that you will have 2 live copies of your data, always. One down, second is up. Data is available. Next point is cache. Well, as it's known, it's all about the money. So, as I told before, you are simply cutting down your expenses twice on servers. Well, and you shouldn't spend money for expensive switches and the cables and network interface cards are actually too. So I think it's cool. Okay, and then actually I must admit that StarWind is a Windows-based application. So and it actually has a pretty in-use interface that you can use using only your intuition. and logic, of course. And of course, our software supports SCSI reservations that allows using StarWind devices for creating cluster shared volumes. That is needed for Microsoft Cluster, as it's known. Okay, now let's go to the practical part of our webinar. In a couple of minutes, I will show you StarWind Native SAN software in action. For this, I will share with you my remote desktop connection manager. Okie doke. Okay, so what you see now is the StarWind management console of Native SAN. For those users who had experience of working with StarWind, you see nothing new here, and actually it wasn't changed in a console. The things that were changed are actually this little bit the engine of the StarWind. Okay, so from the left side you see that host tree. To connect to the host, you need to simply double click it and enter the password if required. To add this host, it's also simple. You just click on Add Host button, enter in the IP, then again double click on it or click on Connect button, login password, save password, and okay, and it's connected. Okay, I will delete it. From the right side, on the right side, actually, you see the targets here listed. You see that you have possibility to set up chat permissions, challenge handshake, authentication protocol, access rights, of course. Also, you see the description of every of those targets, the number of iSCSI sessions. By the way, you can track your connections, and chat permissions for every target separately. Okay, so let me show you how it's easy to create StarWind target. StarWind Availability Cluster. By the way, before I will start, I will kindly ask you to ask your questions if you will have some, and as soon as I will have a second or moment for it, I will answer them. And now let's start create HA. Click at target button, enter the name of the target, and go to hard disk option, advanced virtual, availability device, enter the host, partner host IP address, and it can be, by the way, IP address or the domain name. After, you need to enter the username, the password. By the way, defaults for StarWind is root and StarWind. Click next. Enter the partner target alias. I'm always using the default. It's just adding the partner. And oh, I'm sorry, on this step you should to specify the path to the image file where it will be stored, the image file that will serve for HA needs. You need to do this for every server in availability storage cluster. Let it be 15 max, it's just to show you how it's easy. Okay, this step actually it's doing really easy. As you can see from the bottom, everything is chosen automatically. Okay, it's really easy, but it's really important. So what these steps are? Those steps are, first of all, this is synchronization and heartbeat interface. But what are they? What are they for? They're serving to make your storage cluster really reliable and your data is available for 99 and 99%. So synchronization interface, basically, and it's obvious, this is the data link that is using to synchronize data between two StarWind servers. So if server 2 is down for some reason, hardware maintenance, etc., then it's well, we'll hope that it will come back online again after that, and after it will be online again, the synchronization channel will be used to synchronize data from server 1 to the one that was down. And also synchronization interface is used to increase the performance. Yeah, how? Basically because it's allowing to use the round-robin network load balancing policy. That means that you can use both of passes to server 1 and to server 2 simultaneously. So this thing needs to be compared with something, I think. Well, a lot of, or some of our competitors, I'm sorry, are recommending to use the failover only network load balancing policy on the client machine, and that means that you can use one path only, and the second one is like a backup channel. Well, not in our case. In our case, you can use both of those channels simultaneously, and to send the package 1 to server 1, package 2 to server 2, and after this synchronization channel comes into play, and the package 1 is sending the server 1 sending the copy of package 1 to server 2 using this synchronization interface, and the server 2 is sending the copy of package 2 to server 1. So technically only one package received to each server, but both of them have both of packages. So mathematically it's increasing your performance twice. Okay, and what the heartbeat? Heartbeat is just simple ping signal that is generating when something wrong with the synchronization data link. So how it looks like? Let's imagine that something is wrong with the synchronization channel. In this case, server 1 of StarWind, let's call it StarWind 1, is pinging second StarWind server. Let's imagine that it's just asking, hey, StarWind 2, are you online? Are you there? Because I see that something is wrong with the synchronization channel, and or maybe you are offline, I don't know. What will you say? And StarWind 2 is replying, you know what, something is definitely wrong with synchronization channel. So I see that you have most recent data, so I will close my connection so you are staying open, and that is how the data will not be corrupted and simultaneously available. Well, in this actually how StarWind is making your data available and your storage enterprisely reliable. This step is pretty new since version 5.7. Basically, it was developed like the optimization for 10 gigabit Ethernet. As you can see, you should specify the number of iSCSI sessions here. Maximum value is 4, and this is the recommended value. What is it for? If you have 4 iSCSI sessions, you have asynchronous, That means, for example, that you can use 3 of those sessions to write data from server 1 to server 2, and 1 iSCSI session to write data from server 2 to server 1. That is actually what I was talking about a little bit previously, increasing performance, and this is one more point that was added to increase the performance, to make it true. Okay, let's go next. This is really easy step, but it's pretty important to know what is it. This is a step where you should select the initialization method. I will choose do not synchronize virtual disks since our disks are new. But if I would have image files filled with some data, with some information, and that I don't need even more, I need empty blank image files, I would choose first option, clear virtual disks. And if I would have one image file with data that I want to replicate to the second image file, I would choose one of those two options, second or third, depending on the direction that I need to do. I mean, the direction of the synchronization. Okay, let's go next. Caching. Caching is a cornerstone of performance too. No, I'm sorry, it's not cornerstone, but it's important too. Much more important than, let's say, monitor. Okay, so forgive me about the joke. How many cache do you need? Default value is 64, and this is minimal recommended. But if you will give it more, it will show you more performance. So the more you random access memory assigned to the cache, the more performance you will get. By the way, we recommend to use write-back caching for HA device. Well, that's it. Okay, couple of clicks, couple of seconds, and we will have HA device. And until we're waiting, I will answer some questions. Mr. Atif Bilal is asking, what about IP SAN? Atif, could you please clarify your question, because I really do not understand what you are talking about. If you're asking about some competitor product, I actually just heard that there is some. If you're asking something about our software, I will ask you to clarify it. And Mr. Rajesh Patel is asking, do I need to create different target for each virtual server? I will ask you to clarify it too. Do you mean if you need to create one HA device for one server, you have possibility to create to store as many virtual servers on one HA device as you wish. Okay, as you can see, the HA device has been created. And as you can see, it is already here. Okay, so about the Native SAN product, by the way, I have created already the cluster to do not waste your time. As we know, time is money, and it's all about the money. The Hyper-V cluster configuration assumes that you have Active Directory installed. Also, to use HA devices, you need to install some Microsoft features. Like failover clustering, multipass, and of course the Hyper-V role if you want to use a Hyper-V cluster. And of course it will be SQL Server if you want to use SQL Server. Okay, so let me show you the most hard part of using Native SAN, but it's not complicated at all. It's how to connect all of those targets. As you can see, this is our test HA partner, test HA target. This is its partner, so 2 targets, 1 device. And a lot of our customers are making one mistake. They see that one of device is already connected and they're not connecting it again. But that's a really important point. You need to add one connection more. This is what you see is the synchronization session connection, and you need to add client connection. To do this, to accomplish this, you need to choose the target first, then click connect button, enable multipaths, advanced, choose Microsoft Initiator or any other if you are using it, then choose the client connection IP address. Or let's do it next. Well, and actually it should be here the IP address of client connection. And as for this target, you just click on connect and okay. That is how actually existing targets are connected. And so, by the way, after you connect it to the targets, you need to go to administrative tools. If you have fresh installed server, go to MPIO manager go to Discover Multipath tab, check in the Add Support for iSCSI Devices checkbox, click Add, click OK. The system will require you to make the reboot. Don't be afraid of it. Make it. And after the reboot, you will see that 2 StarWind targets are appearing in the disk manager like one single device. Let's wait for a couple of seconds and we will see that this is true. And while it's loading, I will continue answer some questions. Okay, so about that question of Mr. Atif Bilal, what about SAN? I'll remind for those one who haven't remembered it. I have 2 or 3 different storages and I want to create a cloud. And it's possible by creating SAN. Storages are... Okay, so you're asking if it's possible to create a cloud using our software only, if I understand it correct. If yes, then I had a confirmation from Mr. Atif. No, it's to create a cloud within our storage only. It is not possible, but our StarWind SAN software can be used to create the storage for the applications that can create cloud. And I'm not pretty sure that SAN can create cloud itself. I mean, as I know, SAN is building into the VMware, and we all know what is vCloud. I'm sorry, vCloud. Okay, so as you can see, our new 15 megs, it's huge hard drive, appeared here as one single local drive. Okay, so after you will create, after you will connect to those targets, you need to create the Hyper-V cluster. You need to format both of them. By the way, you need to connect to both of the machines, to StarWind devices. After you are going to Follower Cluster Manager, creating the cluster, enabling cluster shared volumes. After you enable cluster shared volumes, you are going to cluster shared volumes, click on storage. You see the warning now, but that's because there's no disk available. But if you would have, you just should to check in the checkbox of the corresponding disk, and here you go. You will have the totally identical cluster disk. I mean, functionality identical, functional identical. Sorry. Okay, also, as you can see, I have already created the virtual machine for test purposes, of course. So, what am I going to do now? I'm going to show you how StarWind actually handles all those difficulties that could appear in the production environment. Okay, so as you can see, we're almost started the installation of Windows. We should only click next. Oh, by the way, as you can see, this is a beta version of Windows 8 that I'm really waiting to play with. Oh, I'm sorry, 2008, but we have 8. Okay, let's choose one of them. It doesn't matter what will it be. Let it be here. Just a second. Okay, as you can see, the installation has been started. So, what am I gonna do? I'm just going to simply restart the StarWind service. Let's wait to see some reaction. Okay, as you can see, the connection is lost. So that means that this machine is second StarWind host is officially dead. And the devices are become unsynchronized. That means that these targets are synchronized, and they know that, and StarWind knows that on the second host, the partner host, there will be the image files will be not synchronized. But what is happening with virtual machines? As you can see, the installation is still running. As you can see, the virtual machine even have no any clue that something is wrong there with the storage. It's just installing. And actually that is what you need HA for. If you would use DAS-based storage and it faced some hardware failure, all the applications that use the data from the storage would stop. All the production would stop. But with StarWind fault-tolerant storage, failure of one node will minimize all the downtimes, and you will even have the possibility to perform hardware maintenance without pausing your production. Well, that is how it made. Okay, so let's make some conclusions now. Reliability. StarWind is providing fault-tolerant storage that can be used with any operation system or application and significantly decrease the downtime for you. It's like forget about disaster recovery, think about disaster avoidance. Scalability. If your system will require increasing of your storage capacity, it can be easily performed and fast. Affordability. StarWind is the most affordable SAN solution with enterprise feature on the world market. And StarWind Native SAN for Hyper-V makes your storage environment reliable and highly available, utilizing only 2 Hyper-V servers, while other hardware and software SAN solutions require at least 4 physical nodes to provide the same level of fault tolerance and redundancy. Okay, so now is cool time for questions and answers. Mr. Andrew Ivanov. Hello, Andrew, is asking, as soon as the network is the only common resource, what about isolation problem? What would happen if we completely lose network between nodes? Shouldn't it cause a split brain? Well, it definitely may cause a split brain, and first of all, even before the split brain issue, I want to tell you one thing. We always recommend to keep your iSCSI network isolated from other ones, and even more, we always recommend to use the direct connection between the StarWind machines for synchronization purposes. So, crossover for sync, all the rest also isolated from other LAN. We needed to avoid overflooding of iSCSI connections with some broadcast messages. But if you will lost all the connections, in current release it actually makes us a split brain, but in future releases we have changed a lot actually in our architecture of our software. And I think it will allow you to avoid split brain this way. Mr. Joseph Ho is asking, what is the recommended session for 1 gigabit? In your default is 4 for 10 gigabit Ethernet. No, you mean number of stations for 1 gigabit Ethernet. Now you know we all. I'm always a person. My personal recommendation is to use default values for this. So 4 iSCSI sessions for not depending on the bandwidth that you are using for version 5.7. For version 5.8, it can be other numbers. Mr. Raman Sampath is asking, when you say native SAN for Hyper-V, does it mean the StarWind software is installed within each Hyper-V core installation? It's not already installed, if you mean bundled with Microsoft, but we are certified with Microsoft, and yeah, this is technically possible to install StarWind software, native SAN solution, on the Hyper-V Core Edition. Another question from Raman Sampath. How different is StarWind Native SAN for Hyper-V versus StarWind SAN? I would actually prefer to continue this conversation via email. Briefly, that StarWind Native SAN is tuned to work with Hyper-V. But thank you for a question, Mr. Thampath. Mr. Aristides Magalhais, I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. In terms of performance, what is the better, Windows Native SAN iSCSI target or StarWind iSCSI client? It's no matter, really. The both are showing really great performance if you can configure it correct. If you have I'm talking now to all of the attendees now. If you have any questions regarding to some specific project, you can address those questions me directly using emails that you can see now on your screen, anatoly.vilchinsky@starwindsoftware.com, or you can send them to one of the emails from the right side of the screen that I'm sharing with you now, sales@starwindsoftware.com, marketing, but I would say that you need to ask marketing team something about your project, technical part. So my email, sales or support@starwindsoftware.com. Okay, Mr. Ramesh Sharma is asking, could you please give a recap of what we did till now, as there were connection problem with GoToWebinar? Sorry, I didn't really understand what you're saying, but this video is now recording. And we are creating history here because this video will be available on our website soon. So it will be available to download and to review it and to play it back a lot of times. Mr. Aristides Maghales is asking, I saw that question before, I'm sorry, and I answered it already. Mr. Helio Perlman is asking, what's the difference of this setup and SV SAN? First of all, as I know, SV SAN it cannot be installed on Hyper-V nodes, so you need a separated server. And I'm not sure about how they're handling the failures. As I know, SV SAN has an active-passive configuration, and StarWind has active-active. Basically, this means that StarWind is more reliable and have better performance, and it reduces your total cost of ownership. So you shouldn't spend so much money as with SV SAN. Jeff McCartney is asking, what type of RAID do you recommend for SAN? Whoa, that's a really good question, Jeff. That's a really good question. Thank you for this. We always recommend to use 5th or 10th RAID type. Why? Because it's actually faster. And by the way, we had a webinar yesterday called How to Build a Low-Cost SAN, and this topic about the storage arrays was highlighted. But if you want some specific recommendation, it actually should be test-based choice. But if you have some questions, I recommend you to write me directly, email me directly using email that you see now, anatoly.vilchinsky@starwindsoftware.com, or write to the support@starwindsoftware.com. Mr. Christian Sauterel is asking, after I enable CSV and set Hyper-V on both servers to use path c/storage/volume1, I have to create a VM. Then I will have to create VM. What happens if I have to move my VM to other host with live migration for maintenance? Well, that's easy. I can even show you. Just a second. If this host is connected to the same target, so as the, if they are all they are all in one cluster, and then there should be no problems at all. By the way, as you can see, StarWind targets are synchronized already. Okay, let's make a live migration. More action. Oh, not here. Move. Let's move it. Okay, and what do we see now here? Just a couple of seconds due to Microsoft software. It's saving virtual machine, and now it should start restoring it. Well, actually, what I was telling, I will continue as this demonstration while answer other questions. As you can see, everything is good here. Yes, pending, and start. It will take couple of seconds. Okay, I see there are a couple of questions related to pricing models and about the pricing. I will still ask you to write to our sales team. I will share the email of our sales team with all of you in a couple of seconds. Please take a look at the chat box. Yeah, here you go. You've got it. Okay, connect to virtual machine. And it's connecting and it's installing. If you want to perform a quick migration, here you go. Okay, next question. Mr. Aristides is asking, hi, could you answer my question regarding performance comparison of iSCSI clients? Which one is better, Windows Native SAN iSCSI target or StarWind iSCSI client? Well, I have already answered it. I wouldn't say that some of them are better. Why? Because they are not comparable. They are both good, they are both reliable, and they both have a good performance close to wire speed of your network. Also, I see the couple of questions from attendees who are from Russia and who are the Russia speakers. They're asking, will they have the chance to view this webinar on the Russian language? Well, actually, the analogical webinar on the same topic is already on our website. I was not performing it. It was performed by my colleague, who knows him, Konstantin Vedensky. And I wouldn't say that it's much worse. So please search it on our site. The keywords of searching are native SAN Russian. Mr. Jax Sparter is asking, do you offer real-time support? Oh, well, yes, definitely. We have a pre-sale support, we have post-sale support, and also we have the premium support. That is assuming that you have 24/7 265 live support with such support options like emailing, phone calls, remote sessions. Mr. John Chu is asking, can I use Hyper-V Server 2008 R2 instead of Windows 2008 R2? Hyper-V Server 2008 R2 instead Windows Server 2008 R2. Technically it is possible, believe me. One more question from Mr. Aristides. No advantage to use StarWind client, so I really don't understand what you're talking about now, so could you please clarify it? I will gladly answer this question after it will be clarified. Mr. Christian Sauterel is asking, can I do live migration with native SAN? Well, as I just showed on the screen, yes, it's definitely possible. Can I have these courses in French? Was asked by Mr. Jean-Paul Aman. Yes, you definitely have these courses. We have this webinar on the French language that was performed by my colleague SKZ. So please search it on our website too. Mr. Asap Abbas Danji is asking, is this work simultaneously with Vmware and Hyper-V in a single organization? Unfortunately not. Hyper-V Native SAN for Hyper-V was designed to work with the Hyper-V only. So you can use only Microsoft machines. Mr. Jeff McCarthy, is asking, what is the hardware specification of your servers you are using for the demo? For the demo, I'm using not two enterprise servers, so I will suggest you to do next. Please go to our website and go to the system requirements page, or again write me, email me, or email to sales, or email to our support. We'll gladly provide you with all the information. Mr. Aristides is asking, is it certified for use with then hypervisor? StarWind Software solution is certified, but not the Hyper-V, not the native SAN for Hyper-V solution. Well, because it is known that it is designed to work with the Hyper-V. Okay, about the recommendation, I'm always preferring to use about servers. Dell about the, I see there's a lot of actually why I'm telling this, because there is a lot of questions regarding to recommendations to the hardware. So my recommendation, servers, Dell's or HP, the strongest one. The switches, Dell or Cisco, of course. And what about else? Well, RAID controllers, LSI, not Adaptec actually. Well, and that's it. Okay, the question from Mr. Reinhard Lombard. Do you have to use the exact same hardware on both hosts nodes? Mr. Reinhard, yes, I have used exactly same hardware, exactly same servers. And actually, for those who are pretty new to the cluster technologies, this is one of the cluster requirements the cluster environment should be homogenic. That means that server should be, it would be better if they would be the same, identical. Mr. Asad Abbas Danji is asking, can you tell me some troubleshooting issues occur in this and what kind of support provided by your team? Once again, about the support, we have three types of support. Pre-sale support, where me or my honorable colleagues are providing you with some hints, tips, tricks to make your production environment reliable and fast. And also we have two post-sales plans, usual, basic, and premium. The only difference between them, the couple of differences between them, is that the response time, of course. Our support policy is making us to answer the premium support to premium support cases with more high speed, and the possibility of remote sessions. And the second part of question of Mr. Assad, can you tell me some troubleshooting issue occur? On my experience, and I can swear, all 100% of issues were related to misconfigured iSCSI initiator for native SAN for Hyper-V. Mr. Alex Wexler is asking, is there limitations for storage size? Depending on the license, but we have license with unlimited storage capacity. Okay, I don't see any new questions for now. I will wait for a couple of seconds. Maybe someone is trying to type it. While I'm waiting, I didn't waste this time. I will briefly tell you about what is upcoming in StarWind. Well, to be brief, you will have the possibility to use HA bundled with the duplication, bundled with continuous data protection, that's snapshots, and bundled with the replication to the third site using low bandwidth channel, because it will be bundled with compression. That is what upcoming, briefly. I think that was impressive. I mean, will be. Mr. Emad Omar is asking, are these slides available for download? Email me, we'll talk about it. Well, okay, I don't see any other questions for now. You're welcome, Emad. I don't see any other questions for now, so I want to thank you for your time that I took. It was 51 minutes of your time, actually. I really appreciate that you are here. I'm really glad to see all of you, especially those one of you who are worked with me on the support requirements and had conversations. So thank you everybody a lot. I want to wish you a nice day and a great weekend that is coming soon. Okay, bye guys.